Welcome to the Stoic Couple, where wisdom guides love, hearts connect, and every bond tells its unique story. Let's be real, nothing stings more than realizing that the girl you've been pouring your time, energy, and attention into doesn't see you as anything more than a buddy. The friend zone, the most polite rejection in human history. She doesn't tell you outright, but her actions scream it loud and clear. You're stuck in a limbo where you feel close to her yet completely far away from anything meaningful. Here's the kicker, it's often not even your fault. Society has sold men this false narrative that if you're nice enough or always there for her, she'll eventually see you as relationship material. Spoiler alert, she won't. But how can you tell? How can you know if you've landed in the friend zone before it's too late? The truth is, women rarely say, "You're just a friend." Why would they? That level of honesty could risk their comfort. Instead, they drop hints, subtle yet powerful signals that you might be overlooking. The problem? Most guys ignore these red flags because they're too blinded by hope. Let me ask you this. Do you often find yourself being the guy she calls when she's upset about another man? Does she cancel plans with you at the last minute but keep them for someone else? Or worse, does she shower you with compliments like, "You're such a great guy," but never shows interest beyond that? These aren't coincidences. They're signs. Men, you need to understand something critical. Women know how to protect their comfort zones, and friend zoning you is part of that strategy. It's not malicious, it's instinctual. They want your attention, your loyalty, and your emotional support. But they don't want to cross that invisible line into romance. This video is your wake up call. I'm going to show you how to recognize the signs she's friend zoning you without saying it outright. From her subtle language cues to the way she structures your time together, I'll break it all down, step by step. So, if you're tired of second guessing her intentions, stick around. This could change the way you approach relationships forever. 1. She values your attention, not your affection. One of the clearest signs that you're being friend zoned is when she craves your attention but avoids anything resembling romantic affection. Women who place you in the friend zone thrive on the security you offer without ever needing to reciprocate in a meaningful way. To put it simply, she loves having you around for validation, but she's not interested in you romantically. Think about it. How often does she text you just to talk about her day or vent about something going wrong? She's quick to seek your advice, lean on your support, or even fish for compliments when she's feeling down. Yet, when the topic shifts to anything romantic or intimate, she changes the subject, deflects, or outright avoids the conversation. This dynamic isn't always intentional. For her, you're someone dependable and safe, someone who makes her feel good about herself without crossing into the complicated territory of a romantic relationship. But for you, this creates an emotional imbalance. You're investing time and energy in the hope that one day she'll see you differently, while she's perfectly content with the current arrangement. Here's the real test. Does she light up when you give her your undivided attention, but instantly pull away or act uncomfortable if you show her affection in a way that could be seen as romantic? Maybe you've tried to compliment her in a way that's more than friendly, like saying, "You're truly beautiful," instead of the usual, "You look nice today." How did she respond? If she brushed it off or quickly changed the subject, it's a red flag. For instance, imagine this. She texts you at midnight saying, "Hey, I had the worst day ever. Can we talk?" You drop everything to comfort her, listen to her complaints, and maybe even offer solutions. She thanks you, says, "You're the best," and then ends the conversation with, "I'm so lucky to have a friend like you." That's the key phrase, "a friend like you." Men, this is a classic trap. She's benefiting from your emotional labor, but she's also drawing a clear boundary to ensure it doesn't lead to anything more. While you're interpreting her late night texts as a sign of closeness, she sees it as purely platonic. If this sounds familiar, it's time to step back and reassess your position. Stop giving away your attention so freely and see how she reacts. A woman who values you only as a friend will eventually lose interest when you're no longer her constant source of validation. 2. You're her emotional dumping ground. Another unmistakable sign that you're deep in the friend zone is when she constantly unloads her problems on you, but only her problems. She treats you like her personal therapist, confiding in you about everything from her bad day at work to her failed relationships, yet never considers you as someone she could be emotionally intimate with on a deeper, romantic level. This is where many men get stuck. You feel flattered that she trusts you enough to share her feelings, and you assume that this emotional connection will eventually lead to something more. The harsh truth? In her mind, this dynamic is entirely one sided. She sees you as a safe space, someone who listens and supports her, but not someone she feels romantic attraction for. Here's what to look out for. Does she always seem to need you when she's upset or stressed, but disappears when she's happy or in a good place emotionally? When she has good news, does she share it with someone else first? This pattern reveals that she values you more as a coping mechanism than as a partner. Let's break this down with a relatable scenario. She calls you late at night, crying because the guy she's been dating ghosted her. You drop everything to console her, telling her she deserves better and that any guy would be lucky to have her. She listens, thanks you for being such a great friend, and then continues to gush about how amazing the guy was before he disappeared. In this moment, you're giving her your energy and emotional support, but she's not even considering you as an option. The key here is understanding why this happens. Women friend zone men like this because they know you'll always be there for them, regardless of how they treat you. You've become a predictable source of comfort, which ironically makes her less likely to see you as exciting or romantic. If you're stuck in this dynamic, it's time to set boundaries. Stop being her emotional dumping ground and let her handle some of her issues on her own. This isn't about being cruel, it's about valuing your time and emotional energy. A woman who truly respects and cares for you will notice when you pull back and will either adjust her behavior or show her true intentions. If she's only using you for support, she'll likely move on to someone else who can fill that role. 3. She keeps you in the safe zone. When a woman keeps you in the safe zone, it means she's intentionally placing you in a role that feels secure and comforting for her, but far removed from anything romantic. The safe zone is like the friend zone's more subtle cousin. You're close enough to be part of her life, but only in a way that serves her emotional or social needs, not her romantic desires. Here's what it looks like. She spends time with you when it's convenient for her, enjoys your company, and even engages in playful banter that might seem flirty on the surface. But beneath it all, there's a lack of genuine romantic intent. She's not interested in building something deeper with you. She's interested in keeping you exactly where you are, safe and non threatening. Why does this happen? For many women, the safe zone provides a sense of stability. You're the guy she can rely on for emotional support, casual hangouts, or even companionship when she doesn't want to be alone. She feels comfortable around you because there's no pressure or tension. She knows you're not going to challenge her boundaries or push her into a space she's not ready for. This can be incredibly frustrating for men because the safe zone often feels like you're just one step away from a real relationship. You're spending time together, having meaningful conversations, and maybe even sharing inside jokes. It feels like there's potential, but it never materializes into anything more. Think about it. Does she only make plans with you when her other friends or love interests aren't available? Does she consistently invite you to group outings, but never one on one settings that could be more intimate? These are some subtle signs that you're being kept at arm's length. Another telltale sign is the way she interacts with you in different contexts. Around her friends, She might introduce you as her bestie or like a brother. She makes it clear to everyone, including you, that there's no romantic undertone to your connection. Yet, when it's just the two of you, she might lean on your emotional support, give you her undivided attention, and even engage in behavior that feels borderline romantic. This inconsistency can leave you confused and constantly questioning her intentions. The safe zone is a tricky place to navigate because it often feels better than outright rejection. You're still part of her life, after all. But over time, it can be emotionally draining to invest so much into someone who sees you as little more than a source of comfort or convenience. If this resonates with you, it's time to step back and assess your role in her life. Are you truly happy with being the safe option, or are you settling for crumbs while hoping for more? Recognizing when you're in the safe zone is the first step to breaking free from it and pursuing relationships where your time and effort are genuinely valued. 4. Flirting stops when others are around. Here's a harsh reality. If she's warm, playful, and even flirty when it's just the two of you, but her demeanor shifts entirely when others are present, you're not the romantic prospect you think you are. When she treats you differently in public, like you're just another face in the crowd, it's a clear sign that she's keeping you in a compartment that's convenient for her, but unflattering for you. You've probably noticed this before. In private, she's laughing at your jokes, maintaining eye contact, and engaging in conversations that feel personal and intimate. But the moment her friends or someone she's romantically interested in enters the room, you fade into the background. It's as if the connection you thought you had doesn't even exist. Men, this is where the criticism comes in. Many of you ignore this glaring sign because you're holding on to the belief that her private behavior reflects genuine interest. You convince yourself that she's just shy or doesn't want others to know what's going on between you. Stop fooling yourself. If she truly values you and is romantically interested, she wouldn't hesitate to maintain the same level of warmth regardless of who's watching. Here's what you need to understand. When a woman flirts with you in private but acts distant in public, she's sending a clear message. You're her private emotional support system, but you're not someone she sees as an equal in a romantic context. She's keeping you on standby, enjoying the perks of your attention without committing to anything more. Wake up. Stop letting her breadcrumbs keep you hanging around. This inconsistency isn't a reflection of her confusion, it's a reflection of yours. If she's not proud to engage with you in front of others, why are you giving her your time and energy? The advice is simple. Don't allow yourself to be treated like a convenience. Stop prioritizing someone who sees you as expendable the moment others come into the picture. Start observing her actions more closely. If she doesn't show the same respect, attention, and affection for you in public as she does in private, it's time to reevaluate. A woman who genuinely values you will honor the connection you share no matter who's watching. Anything less than that is an indication that you're being strung along. 5. She talks about other men constantly. If she's always bringing up other men around you, and not in a way that seeks your advice or insight, it's time to face the truth. She doesn't see you as a romantic contender. This is one of the clearest signs you're in the friend zone, and yet many men overlook it because they think they're just earning her trust by listening. Let's be real, if a woman is attracted to you, the last thing she'd want to do is constantly discuss other men, especially those she's interested in. When she's telling you how cute someone else is, how amazing her last date went, or how much she's crushing on someone at work, it's her way of indirectly showing you where you stand. Men, here's the tough love you need to hear. If you keep sitting there, listening, nodding, and even encouraging these conversations, you're playing yourself. You're reinforcing your role as the safe guy, the one she can vent to without ever feeling any romantic tension. The harsh truth? You're not even a blip on her radar in the way you want to be. This is where you need to wake up. If she's genuinely interested in you, her focus would be on you, not on comparing you to other men or seeking your opinion on her dating life. Talking about other guys with you is a way to keep the dynamic strictly platonic while still benefiting from your emotional availability. The advice here is straightforward but essential. Stop allowing yourself to be her sounding board for other men. The more you participate in these conversations, the more you solidify your place as her friend and nothing more. If you want her to see you differently, you need to set boundaries. Politely disengage from conversations about other men, change the subject, or excuse yourself. This isn't about being rude, it's about valuing yourself enough to stop investing time and energy in someone who doesn't see your worth. A woman who respects and values you won't flaunt her interest in other men in front of you. If she does, take it as the clear message it is and move on. Thanks for being part of the Stoic couple, where love grows with wisdom and every story matters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on meaningful connections. See you next time.